Yeah, okay, good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's the guy you should believe in. Dropping heat like every season. Underdog like Willie Beeman.
We're gonna start talking a little bit about the NBA now, because NBA is in full swing, and we haven't spoken about it since Dame really got traded. And there's some interesting stuff. I want to talk about the in-season tournament a little bit and give my thoughts on that, because I think it's going to solve a lot of issues within the NBA. And I didn't really like it to begin with, but I'm starting to warm up to it. So you can go with your stuff, and then we'll jump in from there.
First things first.
What are you about to say right now?
First things first. The American people have been fighting a long, hard battle. And this doesn't even go to the city that this team is in. This is a nationwide phenomenon of people, the American people, with a certain amount of hatred, American hatred, blood boiling. And just like how we beat them damn Brits back in the day, we got another win tonight, boys. It is my honor to let you know that Matt Canada has officially been fired from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's go, baby. We've been waiting. We've been waiting 3 long, hard years. The American people have been waiting to get this man out of there. And we have finally won the war.
So who do they grab?
Right now it is, I'm pretty sure it's their QB. Their QB.
Oh, they're just promoting. They're not going to go out and hire someone. Okay.
I'm pretty certain it's their QB coach is now into that spot.
I'm not sure they want the QB coach in that spot.
Well, here's the thing: is that they were. I've watched a lot of videos about this, and the main point of why it's a good thing is now we actually get to see if Kenny Pickett is the problem, or if it was Matt Canada. Because you have to think, like, the last 3 years they've been one of the worst offenses in the league. Like, statistically, they have been a low production offense.
Yeah, no one's arguing with that.
Yeah. So now we're switching up our offensive coordinator in the plays that we're going to call. And now we get to see, is it the Kenny Pickett problem? And then we know where to move forward from there.
Yeah, I agree.
And I just want to say,
what if they start losing though?
If they start losing, then they're not even going to talk about Matt Canada. They're just going to go immediately to Kenny Pickett and call him a bum and try and get him out of there.
I feel like that's not a bad thing though. Like we talked about last show, I think there's quarterbacks out there that are sitting around that are, that can make them a contender. I saw a meme today about Tom Brady saying that there's a lot of mediocrity in the NFL.
Yes, I just watched that.
And and it just has the Bengals, the Browns, and then who's the other team that needs a quarterback? The Jets. And then now I guess technically the Steelers are in this conversation. Could you imagine Tom Brady and the Steelers out? Like,
could you imagine Tom Brady in any of those jerseys?
I can see him in a Jets jersey.
Imagine him in a Browns jersey.
That would look so ugly.
My goodness, that would look so ugly on him.
I could see him in a Jets jersey, and that's about it. The Steelers would look terrible.
He needs like those prime colors, those blues, reds, and then greens. That's the only ones he looks like.
Dude, could you imagine him in a Bengals jersey? They'd be so good. They'd be so good.
They'd be so good. It's Tom Brady throwing to Jamar Chase.
Oh my gosh. It's the best receiver he's ever had. No, there's Randy Moss. But that wasn't for a full year.
Yeah.
That'd be nuts. That would be insane.
And I do want to point out that it wasn't a lie. Literally the entire country was calling for Matt Canada.
Yeah, dude.
It was crazy. There was college teams.
I didn't think they were going to do it.
Everywhere Pat McCaffrey went, there was people shouting "Fire Matt Canada" in the background.
I'm surprised they finally did it. I really didn't think they were going to do it.
It was so a little unique tidbit about this firing is that the Pittsburgh News came out and said that the interim general manager fired him. Person acting as the general manager fired him. Mm-hmm. But then in an interview, Mr. Mike came out and he said that it was his decision. So there is a little bit of like back and forth on who made the decision. I think it was just like a joint effort.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. It's just that it's done. It's happened.
Yeah. And the big thing that he said was we've waited 3 years. We're not seeing the amount of progression that we want. And that's very true. Their offense has been super slow and bad for 3 years.
I mean, there's two ways it goes. I think it's really like either we see an explosion next week on the offensive end, or it just gets worse.
Which, I mean, if we look at the Raiders, right, losing somebody that your players don't like, it kind of brings them all back together.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I just think it's one of those things where it's one or the other. There's no like they just continue to do what they've been doing.
Yeah,
I don't think I think it's just going to get worse or it's going to get better. Okay, what next?
I had another one, but we're going to save it for the picks.
Okay. All right. So then I'm going to talk a little bit about the NBA then real quick. So there's this thing called the in-season tournament now. For those who aren't familiar with it, think Olympics, essentially.
Okay.
So are you familiar with like how the Olympics work, pool play and all that jazz, or no?
Let's say yes to get through it.
Okay. So, all the divisions are broken up into, I think it's 3 different pools of 5, and then they're going to play a semifinals, finals. And originally I was like, this is just dumb. This is dumb because I thought when they first talked about it, it was going to be adding more games. And the whole thing is like, we don't need more games in the NBA. Yeah. 82 is enough. Plus, like, for the championship team, at the least 16 more games. That's a lot. That's like, that's a ton of games. But Adam Silver, for those who are interested in the NBA and haven't watched it, please go watch the interview with JJ Redick and Adam Silver. It was fantastic. It gives kind of a look into Adam Silver's brain of where he's going, what his mission is this year, and basically, to sum it all up, back to basketball, which I love. It's time we quit with all the politics in hoops and we quit with all this injury management and everything. His goal this year was just let's go back to basketball. And
are they going to let him fight?
No, that's not basketball.
You're going back to basketball, baby. Going back to the good old days.
Okay, the good old, yeah. I won't even comment.
When is fighting not the good old days?
So I was at first, like I said, I was skeptical, but now seeing it, I think, and I've been thinking about it a lot. I think it solves a couple different issues that are that have been like talking points in the NBA. So obviously the number one, I think, is load management, right? Guys just taking nights off, weeks off, not playing. Kawhi Leonard, chief among them, and then Paul George, so on and so forth. LeBron. And I think it takes care of that, especially in the beginning of the year, because now you have something to play for. And Dame said it at the very beginning of the year, and I think it was the best way to say it. He said, we don't know what's going on, but you can tell there's something going on. And that's the best way to put it, because it's new. It's the first year, right? So you don't really know what to expect. You don't really, like, even the players don't really know what to expect. But when you watch these in-season tournament games, you can tell there's a different level of competition going on.
Yeah, we get to see Draymond Green choke out another NBA player.
Yeah.
He's bringing back the good old days.
And so that's part of the interesting part is, so that's the first part, is it's getting guys to, there's something to play for early in the year. So instead of taking load management, it's more so like, hey, instead of taking a night off, maybe it's like, okay, we're only going to play you 25 minutes, or we're going to play you 30 minutes instead of running them 35, whatever full game starter minutes, which I prefer. And then on top of that too, these two kind of go hand in hand, is then the second point I think is tanking is the other huge thing in the NBA, right? That everyone hates. No one wants to see a team tank like the Sixers for 10 years and then end up with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid and it lasts for a year and a half and it's a garbage dump most of the time anyways, right? And I think this takes care of a lot of that because, again, you have something to play for early in the year. And generally what you see is one of two things from bad teams that are going to be bad. They're either really bad in the beginning of the year and then they try and compete a little bit towards the end of the year so they can kind of see what guys they're going to keep, what guys they're not going to keep, or they go all out at the beginning of the year and then they're garbage the rest of the year. Right. And I think this balances that out because I was looking at the Jazz record specifically, and they're still one of the worst teams in the league. Like I want to say they're like 10th in the West right now, or no. They're like 11th in the West, I think right now. So they're just outside of what would be the play-in right now. But their in-season tournament record is 2-1, which means they have a chance to win their pool, but they're still a bad team. So it takes away that thing of like total tanking in a way, because you're still trying to win games within the in-season tournament. You're still trying to win games, to get that prize.
What is the prize for the in-season tournament?
It's, I believe if you win, each player is $500,000. So 500,000, I believe, which is crazy because it's more than the
like
NBA.
Bench players as well.
Everyone. And so that's more than the NBA finals check. For each player, which is controversy in and of itself, and I don't really agree with that. But but like I said, I think it takes
what happened to the love of the game, huh? What happened to that?
That's what I think Adam Silver's trying to get back to, and that's what I'm kind of getting at here. Is I think you can still tank, but the tanking will be less egregious because in the beginning of the year you're still trying to win to get in with this. And the third point goes to that, which is these teams that are tanking, these teams that are bad. This whole thing got sparked by the bubble a couple of years ago. And what was the most important thing that came out of the bubble? And it wasn't the Lakers championship. It wasn't the Heat making the finals. None of that in the grand scheme of things really matters to me. What really mattered in that whole bubble season was the Suns going 8-0 to try and make the playoffs, and Devin Booker emerging as that guy, because after that point they've been contenders. That's after that year is when Chris Paul came, and then the next year Kevin Durant came, and granted they haven't won a championship, but it solidified them and it brought those young guys together and it catapulted them into the next level to tell everyone, hey, we've arrived and you can come here and try and win a championship. And I think the in-season tournament I don't know if it's going to happen this year, but it will definitely happen going forward. Is you look at a team like Minnesota, let's say, the best thing to happen for the in-season tournament this year is if Minnesota were to win it, because it's the same thing. It's essentially the same idea of putting these younger teams that aren't going to make the playoffs and aren't going to be in game sevens and aren't going to be in these high pressure moments, and they won't be until way later in their career, which stunts their growth to try and win. Now you get that tournament feeling, that March Madness feeling where it's one game elimination, all pressure. You get that now in the NBA for these young teams and these young guys to get that experience and then make that jump and say, hey, we're here and we're here to compete. And maybe it's not this year that they win the in-season tournament, but maybe they make a run and they're the 8 seed this year. And then in 2 years, they're the 4 seed. And then in 2 more years, they're the 1 seed. But instead, if there was an in-season tournament, in my mind, you make the 8 seed and then maybe they're the 6 seed. And then maybe they have 1 year as the 4 and then they're back to the 8 and you don't go anywhere. So those are my 3 big points with the in-season tournament that I'm starting to.
So it's kind of like March Madness.
Yeah, the actual tournament part of it, which is the semifinals, finals, is 1 game knockout.
Gotcha.
So I think that this is going to be really good, and I don't know if it'll fix all those issues this year, but as we go forward, I think it'll continue to sort of soften those up and make them and start to break up those ideologies within front offices, and we'll see some better basketball at the beginning of the year. I don't know how much it's going to help TV ratings, but certainly when you get the in-season tournament finals, that'll be huge for TV ratings. And then, like I said, those 3 points, I think it'll begin to change those things. So that's kind of my stance on that.
You know those teachers who always hand out the March Madness brackets, and they always say, if you get a perfect score, you get an A+ in the class.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever done it? That's what I want to know.
I don't even know. I
want to know if any kid has done it, and then what actually happened after that.
I don't know if there's even, I could be wrong, but I don't know if there's even ever been a perfect bracket. Like ever.
I think there has.
I don't know. Maybe I genuinely don't know, but it would be crazy if they did. Long story short, I'm on board with it. I think as this continues to go on, it'll just get more and more interesting. And as the years go on, we'll start to look forward to the in-season tournament and, some of these teams that are bad, like the Jazz, the Timberwolves and teams like that are on the fringe. It could be a catalyst moment for them going forward. So that's my kind of.
How long is the in-season tournament?
So I think, I don't remember how many pool play games is. It's either like 4 or 5 or 6 in like pool play games, which count towards your regular season record. So and then you only would play 2 extra games for the semifinals finals. So I think in total it's like 8 or 10 games total that the tournament technically is. Gotcha. And it takes up majority of the beginning of the season and kind of makes it more interesting until Christmas, when the season really picks up, and that's when basketball really starts. So there's that. Going forward, we'll have a little bit more informational with it. But I didn't pull stats, just keeping it a buck. So let's jump into games. All right. It's Turkey Week.
We should have dressed up.
We really should have.
For Christmas, we're gonna wear hats at least.
Oh yeah, I'll wear a sweater, I'll wear a hat, the whole 9.
Yeah, we should. We should have, bro. We messed up. We didn't dress up for Halloween.
Oh well. We have 3 people watching.
We could have had 6 if we dressed up.
Could have had 6. So Turkey Day, it's the best week in football, I get. Like, it's the most historic.
It is by far the best week in football.
Okay.
Because sometimes you get to see your first snow day on Thanksgiving, right? You're eating, you turn on the TV. It is the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers going at it. And it potentially is your first snow day that you get to watch. I remember my first time watching the Green Bay Packers versus the Lions. I remember it was a punt, and it was in the snow, and it was one of those punts that was right at the very end.
Or not Lambeau, but Lambeau.
Yeah, it was one of the punts that was about to go into the touchdown. No, about to go into the So it was one of those punts that was about to go into the end zone, and I just see the Detroit Lions guy in the snow, flicks it back, boom, 1 yard line to start the drive, baby. And then ever since then, Thanksgiving's the best week for football.
It is. And this year, of course, we have 3 Turkey Day games. We have this is the first ever Black Friday football game, which is very interesting. I'm very interested to see how.
I think they should do it more.
No, I'm with you. I'm just interested to see how it goes. If they get, I'm sure they will get the kind of reception they want.
Football on a Friday night. I mean, there's only one game to watch.
Yeah. I mean, prime time. The only thing I'm worried about is they're going to overuse it. Like, it's a cool thing for Black Friday, but I feel like they're going to overuse it and they might start like with Amazon making Friday Night Football. And then it's just like, another primetime game.
The problem is the team that's playing on our Black Friday.
Right. Well, and so we'll get to that. I just want to throw in this real quick too, is if they do start to do that and they throw in a Friday to where you have Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday games, the problem that we've ran into this year and last year too was that there's the primetime games are not good because you don't have that many primetime teams. And I know that we're at 3 right now, but we add another one. Yeah, that's my only thing with that. But I don't think they'll abuse it.
I'm going to counter argue. I think it should be spread out through the week because you don't get to watch every team. There's so many teams that I haven't gotten to watch the Dolphins play yet.
Well, but there's teams though, but that's the thing is like the way how much they're spreading it out abroad, like across networks, is that not everyone gets to watch games. Like not everyone has the ability to watch the Thursday games that are on Prime.
Well, it's only the Thursday games.
Yeah, that's true.
But if they did a Friday, Sunday, Monday, and I
just don't know what other network they're going to include.
Yeah, maybe they just added a little bit more games. I would be able to watch them, right? Because where I'm at, I only get flipping Cleveland.
Yeah, I wouldn't care if there's football. That's true. I wouldn't care if there's football on a Friday night. Like the Friday night game.
And I mean, it's also like, I think redneck heaven is football every day of the week.
Yeah,
one primetime game every
and then
single
Saturdays night. College. Yeah, that's
Saturdays. Oh my goodness,
dude! Football when football season starts, it just goes.
Wouldn't that be the best? And
Thursday
hey, NFL,
Thursday through Monday football.
Thursday
just
through
football.
Monday. Bro, hey NFL, if you're listening to this, a little something to get you a little bit more money, right? You have Amazon, and then maybe you do an NFL exclusive one, and then you throw it on another, and then we have to buy all of them. We have to pay for all of them just to watch it throughout the week, and it's a money scheme. NFL, if you're watching.
Okay, so let's jump into the important games here. Packers Lions is the first one. Like we mentioned, I'm not gonna lie to you, even though they played last week, I would have rather seen Lions Bears, but I'm not complaining about Lions Packers at all.
Well, I'm pretty sure Packers Lions is. Oh no, is it Packers Bears?
No. I mean Lions Bears. I would have rather Lions Bears, but we got that last week. So I'm not mad that it's Packers Lions, but I would have preferred
Thanksgiving the
Lions,
same
Bears.
teams every single year. I'm pretty sure it's. I thought it was Packers Bears or Packers Lions like every single Thanksgiving.
Usually it's one of the three. One of those three. It's like a staple. The Lions play every year on Thanksgiving. Every year on Thanksgiving. So, anyways, Packers Lions. Lions are coming off of a big win against the Bears. I believe I didn't watch the game, but it was a comeback. We talked a little bit about it. Best backfield in the NFL, Gibbs and Monty. I think it's a pretty easy, clear straightaway. I'm going to go Lions, but the showing for the Packers last week against the Chargers, especially coming off of that great defensive performance, was a little bit telling. I don't think they'll have this same level of success. Like when we look at, you look at the receivers and you look at fantasy, every receiver in that game was great for the Packers. I don't think we'll get that. But it's a Thanksgiving game. It's going to be good, but I'm going to go Lions. I don't think it's going to really be, it shouldn't be close. I should say this should be a wash, and the Lions defense is good enough to start to force those Jordan Love turnovers that we've started to come accustomed to this year.
Yeah, I don't believe that the Packers O-line is really that great.
No,
and I do know that the Detroit Lions D-line is really great.
And it's Thanksgiving. They're going to go extra. They're going to be even more extra. Dan Campbell's going to be.
Have you seen Dan Campbell?
Right.
He looks like a Thanksgiving man.
Yes,
that's what he looks like. He looks like he'll be drinking a Miller Lite on the sidelines.
Yes. So you're going Lions too.
Oh, of course I'm going Lions.
Okay. And then do we just want to go through all of them, or do we now want to go rapid fire?
Let's go rapid fire.
Okay.
Just for fun. And
Commanders boys.
Ooh, boys. Yeah. Commanders coming off a loss from the New York Giants, Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, I'm going boys too. Niners Seahawks.
Niners.
Okay. Bucks Colts.
Ooh, that is
tough game. Tough game.
That is a tough game.
I'm gonna go Bucks here.
You're going Bucks?
I think so.
I'm going to go Colts. The only reason why is because Mike Evans is basically just their red zone guy, and he's their only option in the red zone. And if they lock down Mike Evans,
I'm going Bucks partially because Rachaad White has come alive, and then that's going to open up a lot more in the slot for Godwin. Same thing downfield for Evans, and the Colts are. I feel like they're hit or miss. I don't know, but
I didn't even mention this. They just got rid of what I don't remember his name. It was like Shaq Lawrence or something.
Yeah,
it was their
D tackle.
Their D tackle just got rid of him.
Yeah. Okay. Steelers Bengals.
Oh, I don't want to go. Actually, I do want to go Steelers. Matt Canada is out of there. Give me the Steelers, baby.
You're going Steelers?
Oh, yeah, I'm going Steelers.
I'm going to take the upset here and go Bengals.
I
believe in Jake Browning. I believe watching him the end of that game there, the end of the game where he came in for Burrow, there were some promising things I saw, I feel like, for me at least. I don't think that the fantasy relevance is going to be there for any of those receivers, but I think he's good enough to get the job done to win against some of these bad teams. And I don't know if they're probably not going to make the playoffs, but I could see him being better than we think he is. So I'm going to take the upset here and go Bengals.
T. Higgins, to my knowledge, is still out.
Yeah. Pats Giants. Poverty.
Nah. Tommy DeVito's reinvigorated that team, baby. I'm going Giants.
I'm with you here.
I want to see how far Tommy DeVito can take it.
I think and then of course Saquon's going to get a ton of usage. So I'm going to go Giants too. Saints Falcons. I'm going to go Saints.
I'm not a big Jimmy guy. No. What's his name?
Desmond Ridder or Derek Carr?
Derek Carr, I thought, was still injured.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, I'm going Saints, bro. Jameis Winston slinging the rock.
Jameis Winston. Yeah, bro, you love him. I'm not a big Jameis Winston.
I love him. Risky for the biscuit, bro. He, as a backup, I hate it with Josh Allen because he's supposed to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But if Jameis Winston comes in and leads the rest of the year, which I think it's going to be Derek Carr, but let's say it's Jameis Winston. Yeah. Give me 15 and 15 the rest of the year. I don't care. It's the Saints, bro. Give me 15 and 15 from Jameis Winston if that's what we're going with. Like
the Falcons, don't the Falcons have your boy, the 49-year-old rookie quarterback from Georgia?
No, Rams.
Oh, the Rams have him.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go Saints as well.
Okay, you're gonna go Saints as well. Surprised. Okay, let's keep it moving here. Rams Cardinals now.
Cardinals. Everybody's talking about James Conner getting back in the form. And
I don't think
hope he does get back in the form.
I think Kyler's going to be there, and I'm also picking them because I need Kyler to show up and throw the ball to Marquise Brown this week. Chiefs Raiders, straightforward. I'm going Chiefs. All right.
Chiefs.
And then that's it for our rapid fire. We will jump into the next one, and we will. Oh wait, no, sorry. Panthers Titans, last one.
Oh, this is actual poverty.
Yes.
But I want Will Levis to succeed.
You and me both, pal.
I want DeAndre Hopkins to still be good. The only reason why DeAndre Hopkins is being counted out is because he's not getting the ball. Right? They throw the ball to him and then he goes crazy.
I'm with you, pal. Okay.
Same thing with Derrick Henry. But I'm going Titans.